Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast. I'm Benita Hudson, your psychic coach. And here we are in beautiful Nanaimo, BC, on Vancouver Island. So those of you who've been following me know that this was a big transition. I've reached out to you from Kelowna, BC, where I've lived since 2011. And in the last year and a half, lots of new adventures. I met the love of my life, my husband Tillman. We got married last fall, and now here we are in Nanaimo. So it was quite the move. We were very fortunate to have dear friends who helped us by giving us a place to stay in transition as we packed up our truck and before we were ready to move into our new place. And of course, that's a challenging thing. And we really have deep appreciation for all that they did to help us get here. And they actually helped us with the move. So do you imagine this kind of a caravan of a massive U-Haul and a car and a trailer pulling motorcycles? It was quite the undertaking, and it had its own sets of adventures. I remember Tillman and I sitting in a restaurant, and we had just gotten the notification that morning that, yep, your U-Haul will be ready. And there we were sitting down to dinner, and we get a message, if you want to go to Caramios and get it. So it's an hour and a half drive. So I said to Tillman, well, I guess we're going to Caramios. And so we had to drive for an hour and a half to get the truck, to bring it back to Kelowna, to have it ready for the movers for the next morning. And I think one of the biggest things I have to say when you're going through a big shift is accept there will be challenges. Accept that you're on an adventure, and adventures always mean there's a little bit of an element of misadventure, but sometimes it's for the best. So in this case, here we were driving back at night, and I'm in front with our car, our SUV, and Tillman's behind me driving this 26-foot empty truck in the dark. And we just leave the place where we got the truck, and 3 deer jump across our path. So, we had to proceed carefully. It was deer country in the dark. But the advantage that it gave was that Tillman got to drive for an hour and a half on mostly empty roads without a lot of traffic before we got home. So the next morning, when he had to maneuver it through traffic full, he'd already had a lot of experience with the vehicle. So sometimes when something looks like it's going wrong, it's actually going right for you, just not what you planned. And that's a big thing, about making big changes, is that the universe is going to present you with things that at first might look like a problem, but might actually be of great benefit to you if you're just open to seeing it as in every moment, the universe is giving you exactly what you need for your spiritual development, to support your path. If you're walking the path you're supposed to be walking, it's going to give you what you need. It just might not always look like what your ego thinks it should. So we get out here. We've been spending the last few weeks unpacking. My lungs are still recovering from the cardboard dust and a bit of a bug that I picked up over the last few weeks. So there's been just a lot of settling in. And, there's also this element of trust when you make a big change. We had not set foot in our home before we got it. We'd seen the walkthrough videos online, but we hadn't actually set foot in it. And so the way it came about is that over the Christmas holidays, we traveled around the island, we explored, and we just started to fall in love with the island. And we had been, before that, watching a lot of videos on island life. And so we say thank you to Scott Lissa, our realtor, who basically wooed us. If you want to catch his videos, they're really remarkable. His website is called Nanaimo. So look for Nanaimo on YouTube and subscribe. He's very unique in his approach, because he's not saying, here's a house I want to sell you. He's saying, check out this waterfall in the forest. Look at these beaches. Look at this environment. Look at the things you get to do if you're here. And so we met with him. We really liked his approach, which was very low-key, very relaxed. And we had been driving around for a few weeks just looking at everything. So when he started sending us listings, I was also looking, and I saw this house, and I'm very good at knowing where we're supposed to be. And I said to Tillman, that's our house. And Tillman said, we drove by that house. So we both got that sense of it. And it's been just lovely. As you can see, there's a beautiful garden here. Looking up the mountainside, there's deer. There's a lovely view of the ocean from our deck. And it takes 20 minutes for me to walk to the ocean. And I'll share a little something with you. When I was a little girl, my parents took my family to Peggy's Cove. And I remember standing there on the rocks, looking out at the ocean, saying, someday I'm going to live near the ocean. And so when we got here, we drove down to Departure Bay Beach, and I just stood there and looked out at the water and cried. It took me almost 61 years, but finally that dream has come true. So that's another thing I want to say to you. If you have a dream, if you have a passion, if something's important to you, it's never too late. It's never too late to find the love of your life. It's never too late to have your dream career. It's never too late to find the home that your soul longs for. But you have to be willing to step into the unknown and maybe do some things that scare the ego, because you're letting go of a lot. I built quite a life and quite a business in Kelowna, as did my husband. We're lucky that what we do is quite transferable, and this community has been already so supportive. I have a lovely office in the Old City Quarter with wonderful people. Another shout out to the Men's Center, where I rent my office from. They work with men, they work with families to help them through whatever they're going through. If the men are working on employment, they help them with that. They work with the spouses, they work with the children. These are really deeply heart-centered people. So the fact that they were more than happy to have me there, this is your great match for what we're doing, was really heartwarming. And I love my space there. And I get to be in the Old City Quarter, which is so quaint and charming and just lovely. And I get to continue to do what I love to do. So I'm doing a lot of events here, giving people a chance to get to know me and giving me a chance to meet our new community. And that's something else I want to talk about. If you're going to make a major change, dive in. Just dive in. Our attitude when we got here is, this is our new hometown. We're going to jump in. We're going to do everything we can to participate, to be of service, to give back to this community. And that's how Tillman and I operate. Being of service is really important to us. Whether it's working with the Masonic organizations that, are going to be part of what we get involved in. They do a lot of charity work. The local, community organizations. I just joined the Port Theatre to sponsor and support the arts. There's so many ways that we can give and participate, and we already feel like so much is being given to us. Everywhere we go, people have been really friendly, really kind, very welcoming, and it's something that just gratifies our hearts and makes us want to do more. So wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, if it's your career, jump in, fully invest yourself. Because if you only stick your toe in the water, you're not going to get the full benefit, and the people aren't going to benefit from you, right? What are you willing to offer? What are you willing to put into that dream, that passion, that goal? There's this idea, and I know not everybody's a fan of Jordan Peterson. There's a lot of things he says I'm not a fan of. But one thing I really liked that he put out there was take 1 year to work as hard as you possibly can on something that's important to you. If for no other reason than to find out how hard you can work. Because if you give something your absolute all, you're going to grow. You're going to develop. Things are going to change. And that's why you can't just stick your toe in the water. You got to jump in and swim. You got to fully participate and challenge yourself, because you don't know what you're made of. It's a funny thing, because before Tillman came into my life, I would go to work, I would see my friends, but I'd spend a lot of time just, I don't know, not really using my time as productively as I could have. I think sometimes that's part of living on your own. I had a lot of downtime when I wasn't at work, and I lived for my work and my friends. And, of course I did my self-development, my meditation and such, but I had a fair bit of downtime. I have never worked harder than I do now on my career. I also work for my husband's company. I became an internal auditor so I could support Seeking Fire and help him in his work to help companies to keep their clients' trust, keep their security going. And I've never been happier. We get up early in the morning, we do our workout. I'll be going for my walk after this, and then we just get to work, and it's so rewarding. It's so joyful. Here I am on the cusp of turning 61. And even though, my body's a little bit older, I deal with a lung condition that occasionally affects me, I've never felt more alive. I've never felt happier. I've never felt more fulfilled. I've never lived so fully as I do now. And I want that for you. I want for you the love of your life, if that's something that you feel is important for you, that you wake up next to and you look at with such gratitude. And there's such a gift to meeting that person late in life, because you only have so much time. So you just treasure each other. You just every moment feel that gratitude. Even when you're having a hard conversation, even when there are challenges you face, it's like, wow, I get to do this work with somebody now. The self-development is always going to have to happen. That person's not going to be your cure-all, but you're going to get to do this work with them. That's amazing. So if that's something you want, just go for it. Watch my series. It's under playlist before I figured out how podcasts work. On sacred relationship, there's a whole lot of information there on how to get there and how to prepare for that relationship before you've even met that person. If you want that career, I'm a business coach. I can help you look at what are your core patterns that have been there your whole life that are keeping you from doing what you're supposed to be doing, from doing what you came here to do, from benefiting the people who you're meant to serve. I can help you with that. On your spiritual journey, what are the pitfalls? What are the things that are getting in the way of you landing where you're supposed to land? And a lot of times that's the cautious inner voice. That's not our real inner voice. It's that ego that says you can't do that. You were told by your family or your friends or your society, you can't do that. You want to find that small, still voice, that quiet voice within that knows what you're capable of, that knows how to take you to your inner wisdom. That's something I can help you with. I know how to tap into that voice, bring it forward, help you hear it, and help you live that life that is really yours to live, the one your soul came here to live. So when it comes to these big challenges, when it comes to these transitions, it's going to take courage. You're going to step into the unknown. You're going to do things you've never done before, but you're also going to be so alive, so, enthusiastic. I love that word because the Greek etymology of it is, or the Latin, it could be the Latin, is to be filled with spirit. And I love that. We're here to be filled with spirit. We're here to fully engage with our life experience. So if you find you're kind of making it through your day and maybe it's sort of fulfilling but not very, or you go to a job that you just dread and you just can't wait till the end of the day, or you're just feeling that lostness of not feeling connected to your spirit, these are things that can be worked on. And these are things I would be delighted to support you through so that you can live your best life. You can live the life your soul meant for you. So that if you were that little 8-year-old girl standing on the rocks going, someday I'll live near the ocean, or whatever your dream was, maybe it's going to take a significant part of your life to get there. It doesn't mean it can't happen. And if you've worked hard on yourself and in your life, satisfaction of that means the work and the wait were worth it. Remember that. The work and the wait are worth it. So don't give up. Don't let go of your dreams. Don't let go of the things you're passionate about. Feed those passions. Support them so that that's how you get to live your life with passion, with joy, with fulfillment. That's what I wish for you. So here I am in Nanaimo, BC, but still available to everybody by Zoom. I am available to you 7 days and evenings a week, so schedules aren't an issue. Let me know how I can help. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody who has supported me all these years, supported me as a friend, supported me in my business, brought new people to me that I could continue to help because it's what I love to do. I cannot express the level of gratitude I have because I would not have this life without you. I would not have the beauty that surrounds me without the beauty of the people who have, with their hearts, generously supported me all the way along. You mean the world to me. Thank you so much. I look forward to maintaining those connections with my dear friends in Kelowna and all the people that I've met along the way, wherever you might be. Please stay in touch. Please comment on the video if there's anything you want to share, anything you want to ask. I haven't started a new podcast series, so I would love your feedback. What would you like to hear about? What would you like me to explore with you? Please let me know, and I'll look at your comments and we'll come up with a new series for you. Thanks very much, everybody. Have an amazing day. Mwah. Love you all. Bye for now.